Right, I think we're live. What is up, guys? You get to see a bit behind the scenes. We're setting up right now, and then we're going to be going live soon. So stay with me as I'm checking to make sure that everything is set up. There we go. I'm here. So that's awesome then. Yeah, good. Is anybody on that? Alright, there's somebody here. Hello. Good. We're setting up now. We're going to wait a little bit before we make a start. And I'm going to let my friends on Instagram to join us. Where is this link? Say hello to the Instagram people. Hey, what is up, Instagram? I'm about to go live on my Facebook. So if you're watching this, I'm going to put a link. There's a link in my bio. You can just click on this link and then you can jump on the live, and we're going to talk about anything nutrition. Check it out. Yeah, so Instagram, go to the link in my bio, click on it, and then you'll be able to watch what I'm about to do. We're going to go deep into nutrition, so we're going to go really deep. I'm going to wait a little bit. I can see a few guys here, and click on the link, get hooked up now. Right, Facebook. Okay, I think we're good now. Just need to put that on silence. Guys, what is up? I'm just going to make a start. I'm already 5 minutes late. Thank you. First of all, I can't really see who is doing what. I can literally see a video of myself here, and there's a camera here. So we're going to go deep into this. And if you got any questions before we make a start, put them in the comment, and I'm going to get a notification. That way I can actually answer it. And second thing as well, before we get into this, guys, share it. Click that share button. Click it. Like, abuse it. Go hard on it. Go hard on the share button. And let your friends know what you're getting up to on a Thursday evening. I mean, it's Thursday in the UK. It's 7 o'clock. Maybe you should be chilling. Maybe you should be watching TV. But instead, you're here. So first of all, I want to thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for showing up. And for the next hour, we're going to talk everything nutrition. We're going to do everything to make sure that when you leave this place, when you leave this live stream, well, you have like all the information you need. You want everything you need for you to create success for yourself, for you to create your very own nutrition plan. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I get a few people asking me questions on Instagram, on Facebook. Oli, can you write me a diet plan? Can you write me a meal plan? Can you do this? Can you look at my meal plan? So I thought, instead of actually, I'd still reply to people, but instead of doing this like individually, I'm just going to get a group of people together, and I'm literally going to show you my nutrition framework, like what I do for myself, what I do for my clients. And the reason I'm doing this is because, well, I'm coaching people. That's what I do. For the past 11 years, I've been involved in fitness. For the past 6 years, I've been coaching. I did men's physique competition, bodybuilding, powerlifting. I mean, a bit of everything. And then now my real passion is really helping everyday people get in the best shape of their life, achieve results. But more, the really important thing for me is like teach guys how to keep results. Because let's face it, like everybody can get a six-pack. Everybody can literally drop weight. It's easy, just starve yourself. Now, what I'm going to teach you today is like really how to create something which is, one, sustainable for you, two, which is going to create tremendous result for yourself, and then three, something that you can actually take away and then go and teach it to somebody else. And that's really the purpose of this. Now, as part of this webinar, I would love for some interactions. As I said, I'm going to keep an eye on the comments. So if you got questions coming up, hit that comment section and drop the questions. I'm going to make sure that I've replied to you in a timely manner. If I don't, I will reply to you right after the live stream. I'm going to go over the questions. I'm going to reply to them and really making sure that, okay, your questions are answered. You're really clear on what is getting taught here. So guys, without further ado, we're going to get into the whole nutrition things. And I've created my notes here, and it's pretty dense. We've got, how many pages? We've got about 20 pages to go through. So it's going to be very intense, and I really want to make sure that all of you guys here understand what's happening. Okay? I want to know why I want you to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And by the end of this live stream, I want you to be in a position to actually, go back to the drawing board and really like start creating something for yourself. Because I can give you a diet plan, but I would rather teach you how to fish rather than giving you the fish. And that's really my goal, that's really my purpose, and that's exactly why I'm doing this. Now, we are all different, okay? I mean, some of you may try to actually lose belly fat. Some of you may try to get better energy. Some of you may want to actually regain self-confidence. Some of you may be like me when I just started fitness. You may want to actually add some muscle size, some muscle tissue. So we're going to be covering all that. And please get engaged. I know it's on Facebook, but that's why I'm doing this live stream inside the private event page. That's because if you're on Facebook right now, you're probably going to get some notifications there, So my advice and my suggestion to you is clearly put this live stream on full screen, get some headphones, and then really get in the zone. Okay, that's gonna be very, very important for you to get that right. And I'm not planning on doing a replay for this. As soon as this is done, I'm going to put it down, and then everybody's going to carry on with the live. So I really want you to really get something out of this. Let me make sure that I can see this, because I may miss some comment. Okay, we're back here. Good. So really want to make sure that you get something out of this. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I think I'm further. That's good now. So I really want to make sure that you got something out of it. So like the first thing, I talked to many guys, and the first thing when it comes to like nutrition, and the first thing when you want to change, most people like tend to point out at the nutrition. Yo, I'm eating like a pig. I've got bad habits. I'm struggling with this, and I want to change it. So diet is kind of like the first step per se. It's the first step when you want to make a change, especially when you want to make a physical change. The first thing you decide to actually do, let me go ahead and then do it. So I've laid out literally 7 steps. We're going to go all the way from the mindset things, and then we're going to get all the way down to like the calories, the macronutrients, how much grams of protein you should be consuming, how many meals. That's what we're going to be doing. And as we go through it, I'm going to be using the whiteboard, my good friend right there. And I will quite often like delete some stuff, erase the whiteboard, and then just go over it again. If you want to make sure that you get something, you want to capture something, feel free to screenshot that, because as I said before, after this video, I don't think I've got the functionality to give you a replay inside an event page. So make sure that you screenshot whatever is relevant to you, all right? So in my 11 years of training, on dieting, on competing, on coaching people and all that, one thing I've realized is, as human beings, we are creatures of habits. What I mean by that is like every morning you get up, you take a shower, you probably kiss your babies, you go to work. We are creatures of habits. And when it comes to habits, they're really hard to break. Okay, if you spend the last 10 years, the last 20 years, or the last 30 years of your life building some habits, they're going to be really hard to break. So the decision for you to go and make a change, to literally try to embark a new diet, is something which is pretty serious, because you're going to try to change your habits. And for that to happen, you need to have a serious goal. I worked with a group of guys in November last year, actually. Yeah, November last year when we were doing the beta group. Awesome bunch of guys, and there was some very inspiring stories out there. There were some guys who wanted to actually get better for their wife, better for their kids, really want to become that role model. And that's really what I want to start off with. So the first step for you to create a solid nutrition plan, it's not your calories, it's not your diet, it's got nothing to do with your protein intake or even your fat intake, absolutely nothing to do with all that. The first step I would say is this one good actually? Let me just get the red one. Let's use the red one. Let me know if you can see it. Yeah, this is not good. Hopefully we can see it. Yeah, I think we can. Yeah. So step number 1, dude, set a goal, man. Right, set a goal. All right. It may sound a bit fancy. It may not be like what you're expecting, but this is literally the step number 1. Like everybody like starts here. Oh yeah, I want to lose weight because I'm going on holidays. I want to lose weight because I want to gain confidence. Like set a goal and literally have that goal written down like somewhere. Okay, it's a bit of a mindset game. I mean, you see, like every time I went into a competition prep, for example, I had a goal, man. My goal was first place. You know, every time I prepared for a photo shoot, I had a goal. Every time I made drastic changes in my diet, I had a goal, I had a purpose, I had something, I had a reason why I was actually doing that. Now you may want to actually lose weight. Now you may want to gain weight. You may want to gain size. You may want to do so many things. Like, what's your goal? What do you actually want to achieve? And I want you to be extremely clear on that. It's not just I want to get a six-pack, man. Like, dude, that shit is like, why do you want to get a six-pack? So I really want you to start thinking a bit deeper than that. Like, for example, I became a father 2 years ago, and my goals changed, man. Like now, I'm not looking into competing per se. I'm looking more into like, I want to be healthy. I want to be energetic. I want to be a role model for my kids. And this is the kind of things I want to start you thinking with. I want to start thinking with, what's my goal? What's that thing I want to achieve? What's that thing that the six-pack is going to get me? What's that thing that a little bit less weight is going to get me? So that's the first thing. Like, it's really important for you to understand why you're doing whatever you're doing. Because, okay, Phil is here. I just saw your comment now. Yeah, Phil, what's up? So you really want to start thinking with why. I mean, again, if you're reading books, you're doing a bit of mindset stuff, that's really good. If you're not, do you need to start thinking about that? Because this journey is going to get challenging. Like, the chances are you're here because it's not the first time you're doing a diet. It's not the first time you're trying to get in shape. You probably want to get like a nugget of information which is going to give you that edge. And it's extremely important that you know why you're doing that, because it's going to be hard. Like when I start a competition prep, for example, and it gets hard, man. It gets hard. I'm eating little food. I'm training super hard twice a day, and I'm doing loads of cardio. It's hard because when things will start getting challenging, when you're going to start hitting plateaus, this is the goal which is going to keep you going. So we do a things with the new Rise Academy. Actually, I've got this here. I'm going to offer you that by the end of this live. We've got journals. Okay, so journal. I mean, you can use an agenda. We have a journal, a specific journal for that. Write down your goals, man. Remind yourself that you have a goal, because without a goal, you literally have no purpose. Okay. Step number 2 is the time frame. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, good. So step number 2 to create your ultimate nutrition plan is the time frame. Like, you want to know, okay, I'm going to create a meal plan. I'm going on this plan. Like, how long is that for? I mean, ideally, you ask me, I'm going to tell you, like, this plan should be for life. Like, this should be for the next, like, year, for the next 2 years, for the next 5 years. This is a plan you should be following for life. Now, I understand that, you know, in life, for example, you may be getting married, like, next year or in 6 months. And you will want to actually, like, have that extra edge. You will want to change things. Yes, Phil, you can buy the journals online. I'm going to put a link shortly, and I'm going to offer that in a bit. So you can literally, you need to have a time frame. You need to know that, okay, you know what? Today is September 13th, and I'm giving myself all the way to the end of the year. Okay, you want to have a time frame, but ideally, you want to create a plan which is going to last you forever. Why not? Because one thing I've realized, like when I first started coaching, like there is this kind of waves in the fitness space, and there is this kind of waves, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me, is that when this is the time of the year where it's winter, so everybody will going to start putting on some weight. I mean, it's cold, you eat crap. Comes January, everybody's motivated. Shit, I hate so much crap. I want to actually do something. And then you got the summer as well. So as a coach, as a former gym owner, I know and I can see the waves. But what I want you to do is like start working with that. Start putting that into your plan so you know. It's like, for example, you start a job, all right? You start a job and you realize that, you know what, on that job, I'm going to be making 50 grand in a year. Okay, 50 grand is 50,000, of course. So if you know that you're making 50,000 in a year, based on that, you kind of like plan your expenses. You know that, okay, you know what, in July, August time, I'm going to get my bonus. And when I get that bonus, well, you know what, I'm going to do something. So that's why I want to start thinking of with, like, have an established time frame of how long you're going to be going for. Ideally, I mean, if you're starting up, you're probably going to go for like 8 to 12 weeks of acceleration. Okay, this is like the first stage of a nutrition plan. It will go like 8 to 12 weeks for me as a coach and for you as well to really start putting those changes in place. Okay, you want to put those changes in place and really making sure that, okay, you know what, this is solid now. If you'll be doing something on a regular basis for 8 to 12 weeks, and I'm going to push it a little bit further for even 20 weeks, I guarantee you that you can do that for another 365 days. So that's what I want you to start thinking of. Establish a time frame. Number 3, and then that's when we're going to start getting a bit analytical. Third point, the analysis. Dude, you want to analyze. And as a coach, as a personal trainer, like this is the kind of things that we're getting paid for. Now, if you want to do it yourself, by any means, you do it yourself, okay? I want you to analyze. I want you to take the time to sit down and then know where you are. It's shocking to me that most people, and maybe you behind the camera there will relate to that, like, think that you can just, by the snap of a finger, change things. Dude, it's not going to happen like that, man. Like, you know, if that was the case, most people would be in the best shape of their life. So I really want you to start analyzing. And when I say analyzing, I want you to start looking at, okay, what are you eating? When are you eating it? Why are you eating it? Okay, I guarantee you that you're going to start seeing a pattern. So we're going to do a bit of an example with this one. So let's say that John, I'm going to call him John anyway. Let's say that John is a guy and he works full-time, okay? He works full-time, he works for a company, and he did a bit of analysis, all right? And with his analysis, he goes to work, and then he started obviously like looking at his habits, what he's eating, when he's eating it. And on average, per week, John ends up consuming 3,600 calories. And that's a weekly average, okay? That's a weekly average. I'm not saying a daily average. So let's say that he looked at a 7 days period, okay? And then took the calories intake. And I'm going to show you later on how we're going to arrive to those numbers. So just stay there, and I'm going to show you how we're actually going to create the whole plan for you anyway. So the analysis is extremely important in this step, okay? You want to start analyzing your behaviors, your patterns. Like John here is consuming 3,600 calories per day. And this, let me see, make sure you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. And this is a weekly average. So he took the calories from Monday, then he added the calories on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, and on Thursday, and on Friday, and on Saturday, and on Sunday. And then he divided all that by 7. And then he got that number. Okay, now that's just the first step of the analysis. Let me just have a sip. That's just the first step of the analysis. And that's where most people stop. Oh yeah, I'm consuming 3,000 calories in a day. And that's a mistake. Like, most people will stop right there. And by the way, they will actually take only how much calories they're consuming in a random day. Ideally, you want to take like data for a week or 2, okay? And I'm going to give you the PDF I'm reading now. When we finish, I'm going to give you the script, this PDF, so you can actually go through it. I mean, the guys who stated here, I'm going to give you all that. You want to have a weekly average, at least a weekly average. At least you want to have like 7 days of solid data. Otherwise, like, there's no point, man. The reality is, weeks on weeks, things are kind of similar. So you will see that, okay, for example, from Monday to Friday are kind of like go to work. I've got this kind of routine. I'm up at 6 o'clock, and then I go to the gym, and then I go to drop my kid to school, and then I go to work, and I'm back at 6 o'clock in the evening, and then I have all these kind of things. So you want to have an average of that, okay? Rule number one, never take 1 day worth of data in your analysis. Never do that, because you guarantee to fail if you do that. If you look at your macros or your calories for just 1 day, you're doomed to fail. Because the reason why we take an average is just to account for things like the weekend. Dude, if you have a normal life, if you watch football over the weekend, if you go to the pub, if you got social events happening in your life, it's never gonna be flat. Things are going to change. You're going to eat more here. You're going to have a beer there. There are things which are going to change. So, in the analysis phase, you want to obviously look at data over a certain period of time. So we took John here over a 7-day period, all right? And John is consuming 3,600 calories. So now we're talking calories, all right? Now, calories are literally energy you're getting from food, okay? We're really going to keep it simple today. I don't want to go too much into the jargon. There are many things that you guys will have, many specific cases. If you have a specific case, leave it in the comment. I'm going to have a look. I'm going to reply to you maybe now or maybe off air afterward. So he's consuming 3,600 calories. Out of them, 48% of it is coming from his carbs. Okay. 38% of it, 8 by 8, 6, is coming from his fats. And the rest of it will be protein, which is 24% of it is his protein. So right now that's John average here. So that's the average per week again. I'm not talking per day, okay? This is per day. And this is a 7-day average. I know my handwriting is not the best. I'm going to give you this shortly. So based on the analysis again he did, John knows that, okay, I'm consuming this much. And he did a further analysis. You don't stop right there. You stop right there, you're going to fail. And that's what most people do. They're actually they get MyFitnessPal, okay? They get all excited. Oh yeah, I'm tracking my calories, and then you get a food scale, and then you look like a mad scientist at home. Just keep weighting your food. Dude, when you do that, you want to look at averages. You don't want to look at a single day. You do that, you will fail. You want to look at average of calories and average of macros as well. And then the third step, start looking at your habits. Okay? 3,600 calories, we don't even know what John looks like. We don't know what his goal is. We don't know how much he should be consuming. You want to know those numbers as a start, and then you want to start looking at your habits. So let's say that John, for example, from Monday to Friday, okay, John is kind of okay. He's in a routine. He's going to work. He's eating really kind of okay. Okay, he's not going crazy. And then comes Friday night after work, goes to the pub with his mates, okay, and then he can start going crazy, okay, drink 10 pints, okay, wakes up the day after, he's hangover, and he's going to eat some crazy shit, and then before you realize, over the weekend, John is probably smashing 5,000 calories in a day, and that's what you want to know. You need to know that. And by the way, if it's serious enough for you, okay, if this shit is serious enough for you, it should be written down. Because whatever gets written, get managed. So you should have, again, I just showed you my agenda, but again, you can use any type of agenda. Literally, you need to know those numbers, and then you need to write it down. Over the last 7 days, I've consumed this much calories on average per day. My average this week was 48% carbs, 38% fat, 24% protein. Now you're going to ask me okay, how do I get those numbers of carbs, fat, and protein? By the way, I'm going to show you how to do that. We're not there yet. But again, you just need to actually look at it. If you take, for example, a gram of carbs is 4 calories, a grams of protein is another 4 calories, a grams of fat is just 9 calories. This is the kind of information you find on Google, by the way. So if you can't find it here, and I'm sure you will, because when we get to step 5 and 6, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But for now, we're talking about analysis. We're talking about you literally knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it and what kind of like habits you have. Because you could be like John, who is a good guy. He's on 3,600 calories, and then eventually you're like, you know what? I feel like I'm a fat cunt. I feel like I'm just a lazy fucker, man, and I want to lose weight. And the mistake that John will do, and most people do, they will go from like 3,600 calories all the way down to 1,000. And then John will be like, oh man, I'm on this diet now. It's hard, but I love it. John will clearly lose weight, but guess what? John won't last 4 weeks. He won't even last 2 weeks in this shit, because this is hard. And this is what you want to start thinking with. Now, step number 4, and that's where we're going to start clearing the board. Step number 4, you want to set up your calories, man. Yeah. So this is what everybody says these days. I mean, there's so much information. Like, if you guys are here, I'm really grateful that you're here and you want to really get clarified. It's like, dude, how do you set up your calories? Like what's the best numbers? Like, you go online right now, okay? And I'm going to do the test right now. We're going to go on 2 different sites, and then I'm going to put my data in, and you will see that those 2 different sites are going to return 2 different numbers. So in that case, like, which one I know is the best for me? Which one I know is the right amount of calories I should be following when I set up my diet or when I set up my meal plan? So remember, when we're setting up calories in step 4, it's going to be an estimation. It's going to be an educated guess. Okay, every single website you will see through Google, to whatever app you're using, every single website is using an estimate. Okay, we have to estimate roughly where you are. And again, when you do that, you want to account for many other things, and you want to account for the fact that, okay, maybe you got a certain activity level, all these kind of things. But again, when it comes to calories, the number you're going to come down to will never be accurate. Never. Anybody who tells you that this number is bang on for you is bullshitting you. Because this number can never be accurate. You know why? Unless you go to, a university, yeah, and they do some proper, in-depth research on you, which I don't believe anybody got time for that. Any number you come up with will be wrong. Any. Now, what I'm going to do with this part of the stream is to show you the exact calculation, show you how it works, and then we're going to start like dissecting each part of the calculation so that you kind of like see what the mechanics behind it. Now, when it comes to calories, they're literally energy, okay? That's the energy you're getting from food. Now, if you're consuming too much of it, you will be overweight, and then obviously things are going to start sucking. If you're not consuming enough of it, you'll be underweight. Simple as that, because the body needs a certain amount of calories to function. For me to stand here for an hour and talking, well, my body is using calories. So therefore, I need to consume enough calories for that. So, I don't know why this sponge is so weird, man. I have to be gentle with this. Guys, we're about to get into the calculation, so this is going to be really intense. I'm going to try my best to make it as slow and understandable for each and every one of you. If you got questions, pop them in the comment, because now I can see my comment popping in. So pop them in the comment, and then I'm going to literally answer them. All right. So how we set up calories? Okay. How do we know how much calories we should be consuming? And again, I'm going to do a test here right now. I'm going to go online and I'm going to put my data in, and I'm going to literally try the number they will give me online against the number we're going to calculate here. So let's write here. We're on step number 4, setting up calories. Right there, bang. Now, when it comes to calories, the number of calories, as I said before, for me standing here, me talking to you, me running around and moving, my body will be consuming a certain amount of calories, and my body will need a certain amount of calories for me to stay alive, for all my organs to work properly. And this is called your TDEE, okay, total daily energy expenditure. So that's how much your body needs. Simple as that. And that's literally the number which will be the starting point, okay? So it's called TDEE. Total daily energy expenditure. So every day, how much energy your body is using, okay? It's not just like through physical activities. Dude, even when you're sleeping, you're burning calories. Even when I'm talking right now, standing, I'm still burning calories. So that's the number you want to actually get. You want to know that number from a start. And so your TDEE will be made of three things, okay? It's going to be made of what we call your RMR, which stands for resting metabolic rate, which is the part of, again, this is the part of your calories intake, which is used purely for your organ functions. Like, for example, you know, your heart is beating, calories getting used, okay? Like your lungs are working, calories are still getting used, okay? So this is the RMR, resting metabolic rate. Then on top of that, we're going to have activity energy expenditure, AEE. I mean, I know those acronyms are a bit weird, but again, I'm going to give you the PDF so you can actually go back and then look at it. Activity energy expenditure, this is literally anything you do in terms of activity. So let's say that you start walking, cycling, going to the gym, swimming, playing football, playing basketball, right there, activity energy expenditure. And then the last one is TEF, which is the thermic effect of food. Every time you put some food in your mouth, well, your body will be using calories to process that. So those three elements here make up what we call your TDEE. And this is the starting point for you to calculate your calories, okay? Now, before we do that, I'm going to actually go online, quick time, and I'm going to put my data in. I'm going to get one of those calories calculator, there we go. And we're going to calculate my calories, and then we're going to work it out here together. And then we see what the difference is. And that's what I was saying earlier. You will see that there will be some variance, but you will see what I mean by that. So my age, I'm still a very young guy. My height is 6'4". And by the way, while you're watching this, I don't know if you got another phone on the side, or if you can just bounce out of the live, go on to any calories calculator online. So just go on Google, put calories calculator, and literally put your weight, put your height, put your age, whatever it is, and try to calculate your calories. Do that right now. Do it right now, because I want you to do it with me, and then you're going to see the difference you're going to come up with, and then how we're going to cope with that. So I can start 3 to 5 times a week. Bang. Right, so I got my calories here. I'm not going to really reveal the number yet, but you will see why we're doing this, okay? We're going to see like what kind of like numbers we're getting, if I'm getting anywhere closer to that. So in order for you to set up your calories, you need to get your TDE, okay? Total daily energy expenditure, which is made of your resting metabolic rate, activity energy expenditure, and thermic effect of food, okay? These are the three things. You put them together and you have your TDE, which is literally your maintenance level calories, okay? This is where, like, okay, if you consume that, dude, you're good. Okay, you're not gaining weight, you're not losing weight, you're just right there, you're flat, okay? Now this normally should make up around like 60% of your TDEE. It's around there. Again, there's been several studies on that. I've got a book I could recommend you to actually go and read. Your resting metabolic rate should be around 60% of your TDEE, okay? Which means 60% of the calories you are consuming actually like for your organs, for everything to work fine. Man, you got a big body. There is a lot of things happening in your body. So 60% of your calories you're consuming are going right there. Then let's say around 30%, that's the estimate which was given, goes to your activity energy expenditure, and then the remaining 10% will be coming from your thermic effect of food. So in order to do that, first thing we have to calculate is your resting metabolic rate. Okay, I need to get the phone and the calculator here. I think this one should be good here. So we're going to calculate your resting metabolic rate. Okay, so there's a formula for that as well. Right? Again, you could go online, could go on Google and literally get a calculator which is going to do that for you. You could do that right now and then see the difference you're going to get. I've done it before, so I know like there is not much difference when you calculate it that way anyway. So your resting metabolic rate, the formula is 21.6 multiplied by what's called your lean body mass plus 370, which is 4 calories anyway. So your resting metabolic rate is 21.6 multiplied by your lean body mass plus 370 calories. Okay, now what's your lean body mass? Because that's something we don't know. What's your lean body mass? And that's why this thing gets a bit tricky. Your lean body mass is pretty much your weight without any fat you're holding. Simple as that. So let's say that if you're in the UK and then you go to a pharmacy, we got like a pharmacy here called Boots, and you go to this pharmacy called Boots, they're going to give you your weight. They're going to also give you this number here. They're going to give you your lean body mass. They're going to tell you like, okay, you know what? You are 90 kilos and your lean body mass, for example, is 70. Okay, or they're going to give you your body fat percentage. Okay, so you want to obviously like either you got 3 options. You go to a pharmacy. Okay, they're going to give you that number. Number 2, you use something called a caliper, which I was supposed to have here, but I don't for some reason. Maybe my son is playing with it. A caliper is something you use to literally pinch areas of your body to like see like how much body fat you're holding. Like for example, you pinch around like the waist size here, you pinch around the back, and it's going to tell you literally how much body mass you have. Okay, and body fat, sorry. And then when you have that body fat reading, you just take it off your weight. So let's say that for example, I am 100 kilos. Okay, this number needs to be in kilos, by the way. It doesn't need to be in pounds. Shouldn't be in stone either. It should be in kilograms. Okay, so let's say that I'm 100 kilos and my body fat percentage, which number I've put here because I want it to be right actually for me. Yeah, so let's say that I'm 93 kilos. Okay, so we're going to work with that number, 93 kilos, and find me a calculator, please. Calculator. There we go. So let's say that I'm 93 kilos and my body fat percentage right now, I will say I'm about 15%. Yeah, let's push it to 18, okay? So multiply by 18%. So my body fat is 18%. The weight of my fat is 16.74. Therefore, I take that out of 93. And my lean body mass right there is going to be 76.26. You take that number, you multiply it by 21.6. It feels like I'm in math school. Multiply by -1. And then I want to add 370. So right there, based on the number I've got, my resting metabolic rate is 2017. I'm just going to put 0.21 here. 2017. All right. So that's my resting metabolic rate. Okay. That's how much calories my body is using for me to stay alive, for my heart to beat, for my lungs to work, for all my organs to work properly. That's how much calories I need. Okay. And that number, by the way, when you get that number, you can stop right there. Like if you don't want to be too scientific, as I said before, like getting your calories right is an estimation exercise. You need to estimate, and you need to make the most educated estimate possible. Okay, so that number here, 2017 calories. Let me just put calories here so we know it's calories. 2017 calories is my resting metabolic rate, which represents 60% of my TDEE. So based on that only, I could just calculate my TDEE. Why not? So let's try that, okay? If we try to get the TDEE right now, we know that resting metabolic rate, yeah, you can see that. The resting metabolic rate is 60% of the TDEE. So let's do some calculation again. Where's the calculator again? So 2017 is 60%. So if you want to get a TD which is 100%, you're going to be doing 100 multiplied by 2017 divided by 60. So option number 1, I'm going to call it option number 1, all right? Because at this stage here, we stop right there. We got our resting metabolic rate, and then because we know that the resting metabolic rate is 60% of the TDEE, just calculate from there. Just do the math, like 2017 multiplied by 100 divided by 60, you get this number here. So that's option number 1, all right? I mean, you could stop right there. Again, when you look at what I've done online with the calculator, there you go. With this estimation, on the online calculator, I need to show you this because that's pretty cool. The online calculator is telling me that I need to consume 3,100 calories for me to maintain my weight. That's what it says. I'm going to show you that actually because that's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see it. I hope you can. So it says it right there. Maintain your weight 3,100 calories. That's what it says. Now, what I've got here is clearly over. It's 3,200 calories, 300 calories. So I'm over by 200 calories literally. So it's not a big deal. When you do that, again, you still want to kind of like gauge. Let me just put here online. So we know like where we are. So online is saying that for me to maintain my weight, I should be at 3,100. That's what online says. But what I've calculated, I'm on like 3,300. So I'm 200 over. Now we're going to try it again. Okay, we're going to start working with like your activity, energy expenditure. So which is literally like whatever you're doing. If you're into the gym stuff, if you're into the cycling stuff, if you're into the swimming pool, all these kind of things, well, you're doing some sort of activity. So there's something called an activity factor. Okay, now everybody got one. Even if you don't do any sports, even if you don't do any sort of activity, there's a way for sports, physique, and trainers to assess you. So let's go with, I'm just going to do that. It looks a bit messy. Let me have a look. Yeah, it looks a bit messy, but again, we're going to sort it out. So with your activity energy expenditure, again, you want to start looking like, okay, where am I? Okay, there is this scale here. Make sure that you can see that. This is so delayed. Okay, which starts from 1.1 and goes all the way to 2.2. Yeah, I think you can see that. So from 1.1 all the way to 2.2. So basically, like, if you're doing focal, if you're not exercising, if you're not walking, if you're literally sitting down all day long, you'll be down here. Now, on the other hand, if you're training, let's say 2 times per day, you have a physical job, you play any type of sport, you'll be right up here. So again, it's really down to you on like how you're going to gauge that, okay? Most people will usually they will be around 1.5 to 1.8. I mean, if you go to the gym like 3 times per week or maybe 4 times per week, you should be around this range. So to be, in my case, again, because I want to get that number, in my case, I'll say I'm going to be around this much. Let's say 1.5. Yeah, let's say that. We're going to be around 1.5. All right. So what you want to do now is to take your resting metabolic rate, multiply it by your activity factor, okay, and then you will get a number of calories. Let's see again what we got here. So resting metabolic rate was 2017. Multiply this by my activity factor, which is 1.5, and bang. Actually, what did I do here? People will get confused. So that was multiply sign, by the way. Don't feel that this is a plus, because otherwise you're going to murder me for that. So when I take resting metabolic rate, RMR, multiplied by your activity factor again, I ended up with 3,225 calories. Now you can see that I'm much closer to what they told me online. Good thing is, now you also know how to get that number. Now you know that, okay, you know what? Well, there is only 75 calories off there. So once you know how to get your resting metabolic rate, once you know how to get your activity factor, you will be able to adapt. You remember step 3? We were talking about analysis. Like if you spend the whole day and then you're not doing anything, like these things are going to change. Your activity factor is going to change because there are so many variables. You can't have like a nutrition plan which is just linear. It's not going to work. It's not. It doesn't work like that. So again, like these things are going to change either on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, even on a monthly basis. It's going to change. So you need to start thinking with that. You need to start thinking with that. And again, there are numerical values you can literally assign to this thing and then really start playing with it. Again, this is the framework. This is the framework for you to arrive at what your daily expenditure is. So the first step I did, took the resting metabolic rate and then took that out of 60% of the TDE, got out that number, which was 200 calories out from what I got online. And by the way, I'm not saying that what they're giving you online is actually true. Because I guarantee you that you're going to go on another website and then the number is going to be different. The number is going to be, this number is literally going to be different from website to website. Because the formula on the back end of it is still the same. However, like the way they gauge you on this activity factor is going to be different. And as I said before, like when it comes to your calories, you're not calculating them, dude, you're estimating them. It's an estimate, like it can never be right. And which brings me to the last point when it comes to the TEF, thermic energy value of foods. Okay, dude, if you're eating food, first of all, you're chewing the food, you're going to put in your mouth and then just like, shake your mouth a little bit. Well, when it comes to that, it's only 10% of your TDE, so it's not really much. But the thermic effect of food really comes down to, okay, how much calories your body is going to use to process carbs. How much calories your body is going to be using to process fat. And how much calories your body is going to be using to process protein. That's really down to what, that's all it is. Like, literally that's all it is. And when I do my calculation, that's something I do personally. Other coaches may actually include that. I mean, you can include that and you're going to see you're going to get really, really close to this number. Really close. You can play around with that. I don't put this number in the TDE calculation because that's kind of like my safety bracket. Okay? You will see here, like, we're kind of like within a 10% range between 3,000 and 3,100. Okay? So that's kind of like my safety brackets. Okay? If you're consuming 100 calories from fat, well, it could be like oil, all this kind of greasy stuff, or from avocado or peanuts. Okay, if you're consuming 100 calories of fat, in terms of thermic effect of food, only 1 to 3 calories actually use to be digested. That's why when people go on a diet, everybody say like, yeah, you need to be going on a high protein diet, because when you go on a diet and you eat higher protein, you eat, let's say, 100 calories of protein, 20 to 30% of that is used in the thermic effect of food. That's why. Okay, so like there's no magic of like, oh yeah, protein are just like going to make you buff. No, they don't. It's just because of the thermic effect of food. So it's just because it takes the body a little bit much more time and effort to digest the protein. That's why many people say that you should be consuming so much protein. Well, it's not really the case. Okay? And you're going to see when we get to step 5, step 6, and then step 7. But right now, I want you to start playing with the number. Like, you want to know your TDE. You want to know that number. That's the number you need to actually, like, you need to know. And by the way, when I say you need to know how to estimate it. It's not like just, you can get a calculator, man. You can do that. Everybody does it. Go online, get a calculator, and you've seen that. You know those things, and you will see, you'll be able to see easily when things change. Like, I took a really wild guess on my lean body mass earlier. It's a wild guess. Like, I haven't measured myself in such a long time. But again, I ended up with a number which is pretty close because I know myself. That's where you want to get. That's where you want to get. So again, like, really make sure that you kind of like comfortable with that. You know, like, what the variables. Here, the variables are going to be your lean body mass, which is ideally your body fat percentage, and also your activity factor. Like, how do you put yourself on this scale from 1.1 to 2.2? Where do you put yourself in terms of activity? That's really what matters. So when it comes to thermic effect of food, I do not add it to the calculation, and I don't think you should, because that will give you a safety bracket. So let's say that when you finish estimating your calories, for example, when you finish estimating your calories, you know that you can actually be like plus or minus 10%, because it's a bloody estimate. It's not like God who told you like, well, you should be consuming 3,000 calories. Like, it should be like an estimate, an educated guess. Now, if you have resources, I will strongly advise you to go to, to go to a university, get some proper checks on you, get some proper solid numbers, and then you'll be in a better position to actually do something. So, based on the calculation we have, we're going to say that, okay, my TDE is 3,000 calories. Okay, let's just say that. Okay, it was 3,025 calories. I mean, again, that's just an estimate. I'm just going to go with 3,000 calories. It's a round number. It's easy for me to calculate with that as well, because I'm shit at math. Okay, now when it comes to that, now you know how much calories your body is using. You know that number now. Like, it's there. You know how to calculate it. You know that, okay, your body mass is going to have an impact. Your activity is going to have an impact. You know all those things behind the scenes, whatever is happening in your body, that's like 60% of your TDEE. So you know all these kind of things. Now what's next is like, you want to kind of like start creating a plan. And that's what people pay personal trainers and coaches to do. That's what people pay me. So you want to know that number, and the first thing you want to do is that, what's the goal? Step number one, what's the goal? Step number one is the goal. So what's the goal? Is my goal losing weight, gaining muscle, gaining size, whatever it is? What's the goal? Okay. Depending on the goal, you want to go surplus or deficit. As simple as that. I mean, everybody talks about it these days. I mean, if you're on Instagram, if you're active on social media, you will see that, like surplus or deficit. And by the way, if from step 1 all the way to step 4, you think that this is a bit too much for you, if you think that, yo, man, Oli, this is hard, it feels like I'm in bloody high school and doing all this math, and then now you want to start thinking like, oh yeah, what about the training as well? And then you start asking yourself questions and you're a bit confused. I'm going to put a link if you want to work with me. I'm going to hook you up with a sick offer, as they say here. It's a pretty good offer, one of my programs. You can check it out, and we're going to talk about it after I finish this point. So, if you get a bit of overwhelmed, I'm more than happy to help you. I'm more than happy actually to stay behind and then I'll answer your questions and all this kind of stuff. But what you want to do is, right, set your calories, man. You know what your TDE is? Surplus, calorie, and deficit, okay? Now, most people, and I don't come from this side of the planet, most people want to lose weight, okay? Most people want to lose a bit of belly fat. They want to obviously feel sexy again. They want to get a six-pack. I came from the other side. I was in the group of people who wanted to gain weight. Now the principles are still the same. Okay? You want to be in a deficit or you want to be in a surplus. Simple as that, man. I mean, this is so simple, and I still don't understand like why people struggle with it. But again, because there's so much confusion, and I said before, like, it's not your fault. There's so much confusion. You try some things before you didn't work. So that you went on 1,000 calories diet. You went on 1,000 calories diet per day. And then you probably got results and you're like, shit, I can't do this thing, man. How do those guys do to stay in shape all year round? Like, why is that so hard? Because they know their craft. Because they know, and again, second step, I think, was the time frame. When we were talking about time frame is in step 2. Did you want to know how long you're doing this thing for? Like, for me, there is no such thing as like an off-season. I need to bulk. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. And you shouldn't, and really you shouldn't. Like, this should be part of the plan. This should be part of the plan. And that's really what you want to start thinking with. Like, okay, when I'm setting my calories, when I'm setting my plan, like, it should be like, okay, you know what, you should have a plan for like a whole year. I have one. You should too. That way you're not surprised. That way you know exactly what you're doing and you're in control. Instead of panicking when January comes and be like, oh my God, I got fat. So, you want to set up your calories, okay? 3,000 calories, that was the TDE we came up with for me, okay? Yours is going to be different. Somebody who is shorter than me, the TDE is going to be different, okay? So you want to go either surplus or deficit, plus or minus, simple as that. Okay, again, because I said the majority of people want to lose weight, so we're going to go into a deficit. Now, in terms of deficit, by the way, like, you don't want to go to zero here. That's a thing, that's one of the things which happen a lot with ladies, like, dude, they just starve themselves, like, it can only last that long. You know what I mean? Like, you could starve yourself right now, and you're going to lose weight. Like, that's not hard. Dude, don't eat food for a day. Just fast for a day. Just do some sort of fasting for a day. You will lose weight. You drop weight, guaranteed. Now you can get that, like, that's fine. But I would rather, and I would strongly advise you as well, like, be at this healthy state in terms of balance, where you can actually bounce from like plus or minus 10 kgs easily by the snap of your finger. That's what I did. I did my last men physique competition I did, for example. I did a competition and my place again is sucked, by the way, but it was pretty cool because I did a prep and I wasn't stressed about it. I prepared for a show in 8 weeks because I wasn't stressed about it. I mean, people will be like, oh yeah, it's genetics. No, it's not genetics. Dude, I will know what I'm doing. And in 8 weeks, by the way, I dropped 4 kilos. That's it. That's it. So most people will actually go like super fat and try to be super skinny. Like, why are you doing that? If you find yourself in a situation like in a baseline where you feel good about your body and you can actually go plus or minus, that's good. And by the way, not everybody is a bodybuilder or a physique competitor or like whatever things you're doing. You probably want to feel good about yourself. That's what most people do. They want to feel good about themselves. They want to have like self-confidence. Alright? It's back to the drawing board. It's been an hour already, man. So TDEE, you want to be surplus or deficit. Most people are deficit. When it comes to deficit, by the way, golden rule, deficit or even surplus, never go over or under 500 calories. Never exceed that number. Never exceed that number. Okay. I mean, you could do that, but like it's gonna be hard to get out of it. Like deficit or surplus from food do not exceed 500 calories. If you've got to burn more calories, exercise more. Do a little bit more of cardio, but don't go over that because you're going to get yourself again. You see, like when we did those numbers, like your resting metabolic rate will start getting affected by that. And that's not good. And that's why, again, you see bodybuilders, when they start competing and then they really drop really, really low, this last bit is hard. But again, you kind of like suck it in because you know you're doing this for like peak week for like 5 days or 4 days. So you're kind of like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to hang on tight to that. But for the normal person, for the average guys, like everybody out there, like, dude, don't go past 500 calories, please. Okay, if you do a deficit, just do something like, okay, I'm going to go 500 calories. And again, I'm going to increase my cardio, I'm going to increase my activities so I can burn more calories, okay? So we're going to start with this. So we're going to go with a deficit. In this case, somebody will probably want to lose up some more. TDEE minus 500 calories. This is our goal of calories here. And this is where most people fuck up, by the way. So if my language, by the way, that's how I am. So that's, and again, it's my event after all. So yeah, I'm going to curse. If you don't like it, that's cool. That's when most people fuck up now. So now they know, like, yo, I need to consume 2,500 calories. Oh yeah, finally. Again, you go online, you've seen the numbers, man. Based on the online calculator right here, for me to lose half a kg per week, I should be consuming, guess what? 2,500 calories. For me to lose 1 kg per week, guess what? I should be consuming 2,100 calories, and then it just keeps going down, which is pretty crazy anyway. So, Phil, you love to compete. Of course, man, I could help you out with that. We can have a chat later on. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Everybody can do it. Because I believe competing takes you to a whole new level. And then you will see that most of the guys competing, by the way, why they kind of like stay in shape all year round. Yes, they will just go online and they will go on social media and on Instagram and be like, yo, I'm bulking and bullshit. But like, you will see they got that kind of like that baseline. And it never looks hard for them. I mean, I know I've competed, I know how hard this game is, but like they've got this foundation and they know like I knew when I was able to compete that dude I could barely in 8 weeks. Other guys know that, you know what, it takes me 20 weeks to be ready because you know what you like. And that's why, again, you want to know, you want to do the analysis, you want to know. This thing is not just like, yo, here's a meal plan, and then just go do you. 2,500 calories, and again, as I said, that's where most people fuck up. That's where most people start getting like, oh shit, okay, now I know. And now again, you go back to the mind scientist. You just in the house, scanning every single piece of food, like weighting your shit. Like, dude, when you do that, you're going to get a little bit overwhelmed. Okay, you're going to see that, okay, you know what? How am I actually going to fit that in? Now, you want to go back to step number 3. And as I said, I'm going to send you that PDF after that because I think I've got you guys, I got your emails. So, you want to start zigzagging, man. Okay? Like, if you like the guy I was talking about earlier, John. John was eating 3,600 calories. Now he's got to eat that. It's like, oh shit, I need to lose 1,000 calories somewhere, man. How am I going to do that? Most people will just cut up food, just going to start eating some greens. Like, oh yeah, I eat healthy, and then put some pictures on Instagram. Don't do that, please. Right? Eat whatever you want as long as you remain with it. Remember, this number here is a weekly number. Okay? Don't look at this as a daily number. Don't do that. Look at this as a weekly number. Okay? The minute you start looking at it as a daily number, it becomes really, really hard. Because that's when you start eating like chicken and broccoli, chicken and rice every single day. Dude, you're not going to last 2 weeks with that. Never. Alright? And by the way, like the first couple of weeks when you start tracking, it's going to get challenging. It's going to take you 2 weeks until you get used to it. But that's the reality of it, really. So again, it comes to that, and again, you want to zigzag. So I'm going to call it here zigzag. Alright? That's how we call it anyway. So let's say that we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, we're going to do something which is very, very challenging. I'm going to do mathematics on a live stream. So let's say that Monday we go 2,000 calories. All right, let me focus here. Tuesday we also go 2,000 calories. Wednesday we go 2,500. That's 500 extra. Thursday we go 2,000, so you see got 500 extra. Friday, that's when most people go crazy. That's when most people actually start fucking it up. So Friday we're going to go 3K. So that's right there. Saturday we're going to go 2,000. Actually, now that's gonna be this now. Saturday we're going to go 3,000 as well because you're kind of hangover. And then Sunday we're going to go 2,500. So that's like 1. Yeah, that's 2,500 calories. Yeah. So that's what you want to start thinking with, man. Dude, start zigzagging. Like, look at your analysis, man. If you know that every single weekend you're drinking beer, maybe you want to reduce it, of course. So you don't want to end up being an alcoholic and that. But you also want to start thinking with, okay, like, I need to allocate some more. I don't want to be the guy going to the restaurant and I'm eating from a Tupperware. You don't want to be that guy, man. That sucks. I'm only doing this, like, personally, if I'm competing, like, and again, if you want to compete, like, seriously, like feel right there, like, that's the big props to you, man. It takes courage, it takes balls to literally, like, step up on a stage, naked, in front of people who don't know you. Alright? So once you get those numbers, we're going to go to step 5. And I know that we're going to get the macros and all these kind of things. Step number 5. So you know that, you know what your TDE is. You know what your daily calorie, not average weekly calorie intake should be. You know that number as well, okay? Now step number 5. Delete that. Man, this is intense. This is very intense. Step number 5. And again, most people get excited. Like, it's been an hour, by the way. I'll be sitting here teaching these kind of things. Because I'm planning. And it's going to take even more time. So I want you to start thinking like, dude, it's not just like me going on Google, knowing the number and then start tracking things on my fitness pal. If it was that easy, man, everybody would do it. It's not. And I'm not saying that to scare you off or anything. I'm just telling you the truth. Because, I mean, I can be the coach or the personal trainer coming to you and be like, yo, take this plan. I'm not going to stick to it. Okay? Step number 5, I call this Mock Week. Okay? And that's a concept I've really started embracing recently. And when I wanted to make changes, Mock Week. Alright? Dude, now you know the number of calories, okay? And you will see why we're doing this right now before I actually start setting up the macros. Alright? You want to do a mock week. Okay, you want to take a whole week and then try to hit that number of calories. Try to consume that for that period of time. And again, that number is an average. So we set up a plan earlier. We said that we're gonna be consuming 2,500 calories per day. And this is gonna be our weekly, not daily, weekly average. Now that you know this number, take a whole week. Take 7 days. Track everything and then see if you can hit that number first. Okay? See if you can actually get like 2,500 calories per week on average. Try it. And that week, by the way, is kind of like sets you up for the next week when you do your macros, and you will see why. Because in that week, you've already logged all your food in MyFitnessPal. So it becomes easier for you. So when it comes to the week when you have to do macros, you kind of just do a slight adjustment and then you cruising through that, literally. Number two, you kind of like already have some sort of a routine, so you know how much food you will be consuming to actually hit that number. Therefore, the following week, you set up for your shopping too. Saves you time, save your girlfriend or your missus or your wife time as well. She will be happy. Everybody wins. Spend some time, take a week, and literally go through that. Like, make sure that you get that number of calories. Make sure that you hit that number right. Okay. Now, I'm just going to put it down here. Number 6. And again, that's where like everybody's like, okay, you know, that's the most important part. It's not really the most important. I believe that if you've done everything from like step 1 to step 5, and you literally stop at step 5 right there, and you've done everything as I said, you should be fine. But again, because this is one of those words which are kind of like big and important, and they are actually macros. You need to know your macros, man. You need to know your macros. You need to know like how to feed them. Why are you doing that? What's the split? Dude, the amount of time people ask me this question, like, dude, what should be my macro split? Should I be doing like 40-40-20 or 50-30-20? Dude, like, so we're going to actually clarify this, okay? I've got some notes here. You're going to love that when you actually get the PDF. Macros, what are macronutrients? So macronutrients, we're talking like protein, carbs, fat. And then we have micronutrients. I'm just going to write them tiny because they're micro which means small, macros which means big. Again, when it comes to macronutrients, these are the nutrients your body will be using much more energy source from when it's digesting the food. Simple as that. So when you start eating them, for example, like you start eating your carbs and your fat and your protein, your body is going to get the maximum, the vast majority of its energy from these nutrients compared to the micronutrients, which are your vegetables, your sodium, calcium, everything, grains, fruit. Fruit is a bit of carbs and sugar anyway, but yeah, you get the picture, okay? So macro is the big thing. That's where like most of the calories will be coming from. Micro is kind of like everything on the side, okay? We're just going to keep it really stupid simple right there. Now, when it comes to that, like, there are guidelines depending on the body types, activity level, history. You've done your analysis before as well. Now, when you've done your analysis before on step 3, like, that's what I tell you, like, this thing is so important. If you miss that, you're going to mess it up. Like, do your analysis, like, write shit down, like, be a mad scientist on you. So you want to know that when you've done your analysis, you want to know, for example, what was my macro split before I started the diet? Like, you do know the amount of people are asked right now, like, okay, so you want a diet here, how much carbs you consuming right now? How much fat you consuming right now? How much protein you consuming right now? And I'm just like, I don't know. And dude, if you don't know, I can't help you. Like, you go to a doctor on a consultation, the guy he asks you questions. How do you feel? What do you do? Why do you do it? How often do you do it? You need to know. So you need to know that, okay? Now when it comes to macros, okay, we're going to have like protein targets, and we have carbs target, and then we're going to have fat target, all right? First thing is protein, okay? Everybody on Google will tell you like, yeah, it needs to be a pound of protein a gram of protein per pound of body weight. Sorry, I'm tired. It's been a while, but we're going to wrap it up soon anyway. A gram of protein per pound of body weight. This really, it varies. Okay, what I will say and what I tend to advise is go into step 3, go into your analysis phase, and then look at how much protein you're actually consuming right now, like before starting the diet. I mean, okay. So have that number on the back of your head. Now, the guideline is anything between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Yeah, anything in that range, it should be okay. Now you realize that most people are way below that. First, because meat, protein, chicken, they're expensive. That's one. 2, they take time to cook. All right, so most people are really below that. So your first challenge in your mock week is start looking at those numbers, like, and your analysis week as well. Start looking like, okay, am I getting those numbers in, man? Okay, so if you've done your analysis before, you want to know like how far away I am from here. Let's say that in John's case, step number 3, we done the analysis, and then like John realized that, you know what, I'm only consuming like 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. Now you can see that there is a gap there. Okay, I'm not going to jump from like 0.5 grams per pound of body weight all the way to like 1 gram. It's going to come from 0.5 to 0.8 for a couple of weeks at least until I'm comfortable with it, and then I will move on. That's what I will do. That's what I'll do. All right. Let me delete that. So we got this protein. Fat is pretty easy to do, but I'm going to do that as well. Now, when it comes to that, I'm going to use obviously my data, because I put that before. 93 kgs in pounds. Let me just convert that. 93 kgs in pounds. Oh man, bear with me. I'm just converting my fat self. 93 kgs in pounds, not pounds in kgs. You dumb fuck. Kilograms in pounds. Right. So at 93 kgs right now, my weight in pounds is 205. All right. Now I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't consume 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I'm really close to that. I'm not like 0.7. So I'm going to go 0.8 multiplied by 205. I should be consuming 164 grams of protein, and that's if I want to lose weight, by the way. But we're going to get to that again. So that should be my protein target. All right. Okay. Now the second thing, I'm not going to do the carbs right now. I'm going to do the fats right now. Okay. Now when it comes to fats, you want to set up a target of anything in between 25 to 30%. Maybe you could push it a little bit more. I mean, fat is not bad for people. Okay. I mean, people doing keto, which is clearly high fats, high protein, it works for some people. I mean, it works much better if you've got some sort of like diabetes, like insulin sensitivity. It works much better for that. But we're not going to talk about keto yet, don't worry. When it comes to fat, we're going to start looking at, okay, I want 25 to 30% of my intake. 25 to 30% of my intake, which is this, to come from fat. Okay, so I'm going to take 25% here. Okay, 25%, that's going to be this divided by 4. That's 1,250. That's going to be 625. So 625 calories will be coming from the fat. And the conversion from calories to fat is just divided this number by 9. Simple as that, because 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. Again, information you can easily find on Google. These things are easily found. Like easily. Like you can literally go on Google right now, you're going to find it. But if you don't know it, I don't blame you for it, and that's why we're here, like literally learning something valuable on a Thursday night. Okay. So this gives me the target of 70 grams of fat. Okay. So I know how much protein I should be consuming. I know I should be consuming 70 grams of fat. I'm left with the carbs. All you got to do now is converting the protein into calories. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, so you're going to go like 164 multiplied by 4. So that's 656 calories here. My handwriting is not the best. Let me see if you can see that actually. I can't even see it. Yeah, you can actually see it. Okay, awesome. So we're going to take those two numbers now and then add them up. So 656 plus 625. This is going to give me, oh, come on, man, go away. This one is so weird. 1,281. So that's the sum of the calories from my protein and the calories from my fat. Out of that, I'm going to take out minus 1,000, actually, no, minus, Jesus Christ, 2,500 minus this plus this. Guys, there's nothing more stressful than doing math on a live stream. It's really stressful. Like, you can get it wrong all anytime. So 1,900 of the calories are going to come from my carbs. And I'm going to divide this by 4, which gives me a target of carbs of 304 grams, literally. That's macro split. Simple as that. Okay, Phil, I know that you asked me a question about the macro split before. I'm going to send you an email with this calculation, like a nice PDF. But again, that's how you want to arrive to it. You want to get to your target calories. Start with your protein. Again, as you've seen in this process, every single thing has been an estimation. Like my calories, my calories from protein, it's been an estimate. I took 0.8. I could have taken 1 gram per pound of body weight. I could have done that easily. Some people go actually 1.2 grams or even 1.5 grams. I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on your digestive system, man, because you know, like, when you start consuming so much protein, and we talked about it when it comes to your resting metabolic rate, it takes like 20 to 30 calories per 100 grams of protein for your body to digest it. So you start putting a lot of pressure on your digestive system, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend that unless you're obviously like going really hard. You get that number down there, you know that you need to be consuming 164 grams of protein. That's for me, by the way. 300 grams of carbs. That's a lot of carbs. I mean, most people be like, whoa, why are you eating so much carbs? Dude, you can still eat that much carbs and still lose weight. You can still do that. And you're going to be consuming 70 grams of fat. So that's step number 6. That's how you will be setting up your macros. And this is pretty vital because the same way we set up the calories, we did like a zigzag plan kind of. Like we allocated more calories to the weekend, for example. You could do exactly the same thing with your macros. You could have, like, for example, more carbs over the weekend. Like, guys, it's been an hour and 20 minutes and I'm setting up that. And that's just a framework. So when you're doing that for yourself, I really want you to take the time and then like start mapping out, man. That's really what you want to do. Like, if you do it like you're in a rush, I guarantee you that your results won't be in a rush. Like, they're going to take their time, and it's going to be a long time, you know. So you really want like to know your craft, man. That's what you want to do. You want to know your craft. So we've done the mock week, we've done the macros, we've done the calories. Now step number 7, which is the ultimate step. And again, like, as you've seen that, probably you know this information. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. Whichever way, like, the sequence in which I've put those things, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like, that's the sequence you really want to follow. Because we're on number 7 now, last point of the day. I need to make sure that my live stream is still on here. Grab. Yeah, 1 second, yeah. So, step number 7. Oh, come on, man. This sucks. Oh, yeah, it doesn't work. I'm frozen, so I'm not sure if I'm streaming or not. It's pretty annoying. Wait a second. Guys, am I still frozen? Come on, man. It's a thing with live stream, man. I'm always fucking a headache. Okay, I think I'm good. So step number 7, the golden rule. How are we going to top this whole process off? And I'm going to write all the steps again, so yeah, we kind of remember at the end anyway. The whole maintenance game, man. Like, dude, oh yeah, I'm trying to maintain my weight. I'm okay, I'm happy and everything. Like, dude, how do you maintain that? Like, you work hard. Like, you've been like a mind scientist for like, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, days, weeks. You've been planning everything. Like, yo, you know what? I'm in control. I know what I'm doing. Dude, how do you maintain that? Now, you maintain that by allowing yourself some flexibility. And that's why when we created the calories target at first, allows that 10% to play with it. Allow that 10% to play with it. Because if you look at it now, when we get to like the target calories, which was 2,500 calories, we got to the point where like, okay, you know what? If I take 10% of that, which is 250 calories, well, that's kind of like a pint of beer, for example. You know, so you know that you got like some room to play, and you know that every week, for example, in my family, in my household, with my missus and my son, dude, every week, every Sunday, we have a meeting. We review everything. We review like finance. We literally review everything, and I review everything for myself as well. Like, you want to know, man. I mean, it's hard. People are going to be like, yeah, this is hard. This is complicated. I can't be tracking my calories every day. I guarantee you that. Put your head down. Track your calories for 2 weeks. Track your macros. Track everything for 2 weeks. Because you eat the same thing every day. You eat the same thing day in, day out. It's exactly the same thing. You just don't know. Like, you entrust the bank with your money. Okay? So you go to the bank. Yeah, you go to the bank and be like, oh yeah, there's the bank. Yeah, come in. Hold my money. Hold it for me. Okay? What the bank does is every month or every quarter or even every day, they remind you of how much money you left with them. They remind you like, yo, a couple of thousands here. You got a bit of money right there. Or they remind you when you don't even have enough money for you. So why won't you track your calories? Like, I don't track mine now. You know why? Because I eat the same thing every single day. I do. Like, it's the same thing. If you track it for a week, you will have like the database of literally everything you eat. Now I know that there will be like occasions when you go out, you know, you have social events, social gathering, things will happen. You go on holidays, you know, you have a baby, all these kind of things. They will happen, you know. And whether your journey is weight loss, weight gain, whatever it is, guys, you need to learn how to adjust. Because the biggest problem is like, it's not knowing all these things. The biggest problem is like when you're going to hit that roadblock. Like, let's say that's right now you're 93 kilos, you like me, and then you want to be 80 kilos. You know, it could take you 8 weeks, it could take you 8 months, or it could take you 8 years. Because like every time when you hit a roadblock, you need to know like, okay, how am I coming out of it? Like some people, they will go on a plan, diet, hit a plateau, try another diet. That's why the step number 3 I was telling you about, the analysis. Like right now, I'm working on a partnership with my coaching platform, literally to get like all my clients blood tested. That's deep analysis, like really knowing everything, man. And that's why you want to know that. If that's something which is important for you, that's how we talk about the goal in step 1. The goal is like, yo, yeah, you may want a 6-pack, you may want to lose some weight, you may want to be in the best shape of your life for your birthday, whatever it is. You need to know why you want to do that. And that's the goal. the goal is big enough, you're going to put the time and the resource behind yourself to achieve it. So, quick recap of what we've done today. Man, I've talked a lot today, man, and I hope that somebody got something out of it. Step number 1, set up a goal, man. Okay, step number 2 was, I think it was the analysis. Step number 2. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm just going to have a look at my notes, which are very messy. Oh, step number 2 was the time frame. Step number 3 was the analysis. Step number 4 was the calories. Step number 5 was that calories? Step number 4. Man, yeah. Step number 4 was calories. Step number 5 was the work week. Step number 6 was your macros. And step number 7 was learning, like, how do you stay in that good healthy level? Because the reality is, if you are at the weight right now, which you're not happy with, you've probably been holding this weight for a while. You've probably been holding this weight for some time. You have achieved the maintenance. Because again, you probably didn't have a goal, or maybe you did, but you got yourself into the point where you kind of like eating the same thing every week. So if you want to make a change, that's what it will require, man. So on top of that, you will need to do some sort of exercising if you want to get some guns, you want to get some muscle and all this kind of good stuff. Set up a goal, set up a time frame for any training, any plan. The first 8 to 12 weeks are always like the toughest, because you're kind of like changing things, but after that it gets easier. Once you have a solid analysis of like your why you're doing things, the routines, and really understanding like the numbers behind it as well, you setting yourself for success. Because most people actually, they don't do all of these. The first 3, they don't even do it. They go to step number 4. You know, what calories should I be consuming? That's why people asking me like diet plans every day. And that's what they're asking me, because they actually couldn't do all these things. Number 4, calories. Number 5, work week. Number 6, macros. Number 7, maintenance. Now, if you look at this and you're like, shit, holy man, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. Like, how am I supposed to do that? I just showed you. If you're lazy, you probably don't want to do that, I will understand, because it may look a bit daunting. That's what it takes. I mean, there are things we could go into much greater details, like your sodium manipulations, like how to manipulate your sodium, for example, like the water intake. We haven't even touched about the water intake and all those kind of things. Like if you got injuries, how do you work around them? If you got like some intolerance to a certain type of food, like how do you work around these kind of things? This is a basic framework, and I've put a link for an invitation. Phil, you're welcome, Phil. I'm happy that you got your goals, man. So I've put a link for an invitation. I've got a coaching program which I'm running right now. It's an 8-week program. It's called Lean and Strong. It's a new version, updated of my program. If you want to gain size, get lean, and get strong, that's pretty much it. If you want to like still be a father and then like, you know, I'm not gonna say look like me, but like not trying hard to have like a shadow of a 6-pack. You know, like these kind of things. Like I'm not trying hard, and I'm not in the best shape of my life, but I got a shadow at least, and I know that at the snap of a finger, I could actually change things. Okay, so there's one thing which is like having information. Dude, I could show you that like for hours and hours and hours and hours. I could be like, yo, we could do that literally for a whole day, and I do that actually for clients. Like we sit down and it takes days, it takes weeks to actually master that. You could do that, and that's the information which is right there for you. You could go ahead and do it by yourself, or you could come on my team, and that's why I put an offer right now. I got my program, and my goal with this program was like me showing you like what needs to be done. You've seen it, take it, go do it. Okay. If you want me to do it for you, there's a link in the bio, actually in the description of this. Yeah, I think it's there. Click on it. My offer is pretty simple. I've got an 8-week program, which is selling on my website right now for £300. Actually, go to my website right now. It's Olivier Kili, OLIVIER KILI.com. That's my website. Go to the shopping cart and see my 8-week program. It's £300, literally. Because I take care of my client, because I do give a fuck about my clients. This program right now, I want to give you kind of an offer because you stood here for like an hour and a half, literally, listening to me because you do want to achieve those things. So there's a link in the comment. Go grab that offer. I think it's on top of the comment. Yeah, comments are loading up now. So it's on top of the comment. Go grab that offer and do yourself a favor, man. Start working on those things. For the first 2 or 3 guys, Phil, I'm going to send you the link to get. I'm going to send you one of those anyway. I got your address. Rise Journal for everybody who grabs that offer right now. Like it's a pretty dope journal. It's not an agenda. Like people just have agenda. Like this is the kind of journal I'm talking about. Literally, you just come in and you scan this and I pop in your screen. Literally, like there's a video of me like yo, and then this agenda reminds you every day to write down your goals. Step number 1. Every single day you're going to be writing down your goals. You're going to be writing down your goals in the morning and in the evening as well. So for everybody who grab that offer right now, okay, it's literally at 60% off. The program is £300 is 140. That's it. Click the link, go grab it. If you want me to actually walk you through all this and then give you the training, we haven't even talked about training, man. Like what to do, how to do it, like when to do it. And I'm going to be coaching you online and eventually, for the first 5 people, we're going to organize a personal visit. I'm going to come down to you and really like set you up with everything. You're going to get a journal for free. You're going to get a lot of good stuff. Click the link. Go grab this awesome offer, man. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm going to send you the PDF later today as soon as I finish this live stream. I am going to send you the PDF for it as well so that you kind of like see my notes, the one I was looking at. The 13 pages notes. You can get that as well. And before you guys register for this, I wanted you to get your emails and everything. That's what I'm going to be sending. I'm going to be sending you the notes. I'm going to send you the free PDF. Everybody who gets the program right now, for the first 10 people, I'm going to literally throw you in a Rise journal, which is pretty dope. I told you this shit is dope. And on top of that, for the first 5 guys, I'm going to organize a personal visit. I really want you to like smash this because everybody's like, yo, nutrition is so hard. Like you got all those Instagram celebrities, you got all those Instagram memes. I'm going to open my Instagram account right now, and I guarantee you that you're going to see one of those. I guarantee you that you're going to be like, 3 fastest way to do this. I guarantee you that, like, and that will confuse a lot of people. Like this principle, like the thing is, everybody knows it. At the same time, like they're hard to apply. Sometimes you may need somebody to be like on your case every single day. Like you know you want to be in best shape. You know you need to go to the gym. You know you need to eat healthy. Yet, you know, that's the kind of things I'm talking about. Like, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, my stream is very detailed, but this is the kind of things you see on Instagram like these days. Like these things get people confused, you know. And if you want somebody to kick you up on the ass, like to remind you, like, dude, you need to do that shit, man. You know, it's not for you. Like right now, I'm not doing these things for me. Like I'm doing this thing like for my family, for my wife, for my son. Like I got bigger goals, man. So guys, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. Go in the link in the description of this live stream. It's going to be up again up till midnight, and again, like the event will be archived by Facebook, so you will not get that replay. Everybody who gave me the email and the text, they probably got the notification today. I'm going to send you the PDF of that so that you kind of like go through it again, like and again and again and again and again and again. If you want me in your corner, if you want me to coach you, if you want me to be by your side when you're actually going through this transformation framework, I've got an 8-week program right now. It's a special offer because on my website right now, this is £300. If you click the link in the description and in the comment of this video, you should be able to get that for literally 60% off, which is £140. So do yourself a favor and your family and everybody else, grab the link and then I'll see you on the other side. Thank you very much for giving me an hour and 37 minutes of your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I had so much fun going over these points. It was good using the whiteboard as well. If you got any questions, anything I haven't answered to you, I'm literally going through the comment now. Anything I haven't answered right now, like send me an email, send me a text, send me whatever it is. You got all my contact. Just send me something. Like if you got a question you want me to answer, if you want a call, you can make that happen as well. So hit me up. I would love to know like how you're going to apply all this. Like I would love to know that. Like this information, it was quite a lot to digest. And guys, thank you very much. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Mohammed. Really appreciate you guys like showing up today. Thank you, Brico, as well. Thank you to everybody who actually showed up. If you picked in and everything, like thank you very much. And guys, that's it for me. Peace out. Bye bye.